G'day everybody. I want to talk about this sink and a problem that may be occurring and how to fix such a problem. Now, Millie's been sick and can't handle outside, and she's an old lady, so she needs care. And so she's been in for about a year now or so, and she poos mostly in here. Occasionally, because we've got this in here too, we let in the other cats, and the other cats can have access to here. But they do know that they can poo outside and do. But while they're in here, instead of meowing at the door like they used to do, because of this, after a little while, and they knew about this, they decided to come in here to do their thing too. Now, most of the time, it's all good and goes in the kitty litter. Occasionally, they do a pee and miss, or just pee in the bath. Sometimes, when there's a poo in there, and there's a couple of cats in, they decide to poo in the bath. When it's just a nice easy poo to pick up with toilet paper, which we do when we do the kitty litter, and me, and the people that help me out, we pick it up out of the bath because they poo in the bath. But a lot of times it's like this runny guck that you would use a lot of toilet roll and goes everywhere, right? And so we tend to flush the poo down. Was the easiest, quickest logic thing to do. But I've noticed, definitely the last week, the sink is starting to not flow. So I thought, why isn't it flowing? And today I went to wash a runny poo again, as I did last week, or 5 days ago or something. And noticed it was clogging down, and it's still doing the same thing. It's clogging even probably a little bit more as I'm trying to flush out a diarrhea poo-poo. Right? Don't have to imagine it. But knowing pipings and common sense, I put my common sense together. I've come up with an answer today after washing that shit out. That if you wash just a small amount of water, enough to wash a poo away, as you want to save water and not use too much after that, is that with a piping system as long it travels before it gets to another wider piping system, and it gets bigger and bigger as the system connects up to flush out things. Right? And I thought, and I just asked people who helped me out, if any crystals have been getting in the bath or any other bigger things besides runny poos. And the question was no. Very, very little, a couple of specks, stuff like that. And that's fine. So I said, well, if that's happening, and what I know what's happening, and what I've flushed, and what other people have flushed, then it might be because it's a thicker content. The runny poo, even though you run it down, it's already running, and it's even extra running. You'd think it'll just keep running, but it's not water. It doesn't evaporate. Even when water evaporates, it's leftover content. So when you flush down a system with just a little bit of water, it goes down the pipe and it flushes as much as that water can, and then it will sort of stop because there's not enough water to keep on flowing, right? Because you need more water, and as the water flows, it uses water, right? And so the better the flow, because it's more constant water, and so it stops, and then water will dry out, whatever's dried out, and it settles. And when you do that, it collects. And if you keep doing little things like that, constant little, it'll keep collecting that same nearly area, and it builds up and blocks your pipe. And if you do a big flush, if only things go down every now and then, which is what I've been talking about, and we had kids and filled this bath every night, you would never have a problem, as far as I'm concerned. But we don't fill this bath, hasn't been filled very often. So when you fill up more water to go down the pipe, it'll flow better down the pipe to push all everything down the pipe because there's more force behind it. You get it? So when you get a little clog up sometimes, and you're just starting to get it, and it could be a clog up because of dirt or build up, because the drains outside do this same thing. I've learnt the same thing where you got to really flood it like this back corner one I had to do before it all of a sudden clears, because the pressure builds up behind it and it's pushing and down the line somewhere, and it pushes so it can start pushing everything all down the line and out. Well, the front one plays up a lot, gets a lot of leaves in there, needs leaf protection for that gutter if you didn't want to flush it out all the time, because we've had people come in and now they just don't do nothing about it. But if you didn't want that to happen, you don't just put covers over it. It has big gaps. You can put these covers over that have just got little specky holes and that, and they stop from big leaves and stuff from getting in there. So it is only dirt. So you could do a flush out every now and then and flush it out. But if sticks can get in because they're just little cracked lines, then you're going to have big bits down there and they all clog up like this, and then you've got a hell of a problem. You've got to put a tool down that spins and goes down through the pipe, right? And so that's why we have certain things in certain areas to save you money. Say if you're a government and you had drains like that and all over the place, you wouldn't want to put that on there because you'll have people coming to do that in your government place all the time. So you just go full if you can. Definitely you can just write a check, and you know it's better is you go higher, a little bit more expensive, and put the proper grade in there, and then that way it'll save you money and time, and all adds up and becomes better. But anyway, when it comes to this problem, what I'm going to do to help it fix it, because it's just started, and of course you can use plungers, people it wouldn't go down, right? And that does help, you can fill it up. If I had a plunger, as I'm releasing it, because it will play up for a bit, you hit it over the plunger, and that'll help go like that in the pipe, so to help push whatever needs to go through instead of a build up, because sometimes a build up pressure, it's just never enough pressure, it's too late of a clog up. So I'm hoping to get it before that happens and do some flushes, which it should be right because it's still going down, as you can see, and there should be nothing big down there, hopefully, because if this thing's big down there, it can also cause the backup if kids been shoving things down there and stuff like that parents get. But there you go, people. So I'm gonna do a clean up and fill up the bath so I'm not just wasting water, and use the bath. I might even have a bath myself. I haven't done that in a while, instead of a shower, and do that for a few times. Might need more than one, and I'll talk about it later on how it can flush down. But I'll show you now how it sort of will do it. So I'm not flushing at the same time, but I'll show you how it's backing up, how it takes a while. And it's doing it now, because usually at a good flow it wouldn't really clog up the hole because it's, you know, that much bath coming out. But it's not too bad. See, it's still flowing, so it's not too bad. And so more plays up by doing that test now. And see how it's backing up a little bit than usual on just a casual wasn't it's like a, but it's not as much flow as that hole, right? As that can flush down. But anyway, doesn't all matter. It's flushing still, see, as you can see. And I'm going to do what I said to make it flush out better. Have a good one, people, and see you later. I thought I'd show you that, just in case some other people might go, well, how bad is it? Well, I make sure things don't usually get typically too bad if I can prevent things from happening, which I couldn't do with the front drain. And see, the back drain just had dirt and stuff get in there, nothing big got in there. And I dug out all the part and a little bit of pebbles and stuff like that. But enough big build up pressure, like there was a little lake over the hole, and shoving the hose in there, and I'm like, is it going to go through? Because I've done it with the front, and I've managed to pull it off a couple of times with it, but the last times I've tried the last year or so, it doesn't work anymore. It's clogged up well. It just slowly drains, so that means there's a lot of stick sticking there. Still draining very, very slowly, but yeah, there must be a lot of things stuck in there big. And so I can't fix that. And then in the back, I got lucky, and all of a sudden, it went, and it just all went real quick, and now it flows really nicely. So good. Got the back one revealed. I thought when I covered it up ages ago that I'd just quickly cover up and hopefully it won't get clogged up, and it didn't. So that was good. Anyway, I'm blabbing now. Bye bye.